You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Challenge us at Wexford Insurances 0818 31 30 30.
I'm joined now by Pat Lynch from Waterford Institute of Technology's Service Innovation Centre, RIKON. Pat, you might start by telling me a bit about your own background, please.
I'm a Waterford man. Went to college in WIT and just did a cert in business studies in the early 90s. And back then, education wasn't such a big thing in my life, I have to admit. And went straight out, and I was lucky enough to get into business with good partners, etc., and set up one or two businesses. And by the end of the 90s, I really wanted to get back into education. I was actually employing people that were, I would actually say, more educated than me. I know that's a good thing, but I wanted to get back in. So I actually went back to college, finished a degree, got the bug, and I kept on going and finished a doctorate and engaged in lecturing then as well. So in about, so I started lecturing in about 2001 then in WIT.
So I know you were lecturing then up until about 2008 when you got the idea for RIKON. Where did that idea come from?
Well, what I noticed was that, sometimes, people have great ideas, and it's even been in the papers there recently that, we've got great ideas, but how do we get these ideas into the marketplace? It's all fine for us talking about them, etc. So what I noticed was that we had a skill set that I knew around me, etc. And so I pulled these people together into kind of like a group, and RIKON emerged from that.
Tell me about some of the services that you're providing RIKON.
RIKON is an applied service innovation centre, and what it means is on one side of the house I have an academic team of senior academics, researchers, doctoral students, postdocs, etc. And on the other side of the house we have a group of professional business developers that we've taken in from industry to specifically work with companies. So we do services, so we bring ideas essentially to market. So we work with companies, on their ideas, their business developments, concept feasibilities, business models, market analysis, up the whole way to the design of the products and services to market launch.
Talk me through some of the processes involved in doing that.
One of the main things that we're very much engaged in at the moment, and especially with the enterprise boards, Enterprise Ireland leader, is that if someone has an idea, they have to do a bit of homework, they have to do their research. We oftentimes people come in and they've actually spent money on a prototype, and you're there, have you done your homework? And they say no, but I think this is going to work. So now you're working back the way, and you want them to succeed, but now you're actually trying to fit a product to a market rather than the market idea to a product. So, so we would help companies bring that, work through their issues and bring them through it.
So if somebody comes to you with an idea, what's the first step for yourselves?
Well, the first thing is that we would try to flesh out this idea. Get it down onto paper, visually see it, and then we would actually see, is this a viable business? Is it we would essentially engage in a concept feasibility study with them, and we would look at their business model, their segments that they're going to target, what products, partners do they need, what's the cost revenue models, their pricing models, and how they actually then bring that product to market, through marketing and through their supply chain, etc. So we would really kind of evaluate whether that's actually feasible or not, and if it's not, then the company has to make a decision or the person has to make a decision whether they still want to go ahead with it.
I know that there's 25 people working with you within WIT and RIKON. What are their backgrounds?
Academics, they're very much based in academia, but our business developers, they would essentially have come from industry. So our marketing manager, she's just joined us there now recently. We would have business developers, business models, market analysis. So they're industry, they've worked in industry before, come back into us, and then we would have applied education to that as well. So they're not academics, they're plain talking business people.
Tell me about the new centre that you recently opened in Kilkenny.
This is a very exciting development in RIKON, and actually the Taoiseach opened it there last week. And essentially what this is that we've opened up a service innovation lab where companies can come in. They might have an idea, And through technology, we can try to visualize what it is that they do. It's a space for thinking if they want to engage in brainstorming, if they want us to set up, to see if test their ideas. Tomorrow we're actually working with a company and they're designing a new system. And what we're doing is that we're actually mapping out the workflows and then the system analysis, the systems program over it, so that the person can actually see what is it that I'm actually wanting to design, and then we can actually look at getting systems developers into it. That's just one particular example.
Typically, what size or industry sector do your clients range from?
We work actually in about 20 different industries, like from retail, tourism, IT, food, beverage, healthcare. But really, the company, and we work with all sizes, but the most companies, and the companies I'm passionate about, is the small, medium enterprise, because I think that indigenous is what's going to actually make us get out of this recession, and they're the backbone of it. So they're the companies that we mainly work with and drive through our innovation ideas and helping them bring their products to market.
Can you give me some examples of some of the service innovation projects that you've been involved in up to now?
One of the companies that I've, because I was working very closely on this project, they were an engineering company, and in engineering you have to bring out your products very, very quickly, and their product time for innovation was about a year and a half. So we went in, cleaned out their system, designed a brand new innovation process for them, and now they're developing products in about 6 months, and they're back into the marketplace with new products, etc. Another one, it's a very simple idea. Before the kind of like the bad times came, there was a recruitment company came into us, and they knew they needed to change the things were happening, recruitment wasn't happening. So we changed our business model to exporting people out of Ireland, and then placing them, so it's an Irish company placing Irish people abroad in good jobs, so that was a kind of a very interesting business model, and it was interesting for the company because they had to change the way they do business, so that was a very, very interesting one as well.
I often meet people in business that would have approached the enterprise board or the leader groups in respect of applying for a grant, and one of the first steps in relation to that is for them to actually carry out and conduct a feasibility study in respect of their particular project to prove that it has a product market fit. I
think it's like the enterprise board's leader, you have to have a concept feasibility, and that concept has to be proven. And so, you need to be coming in. Karl, there's nothing worse than when someone comes in, and I know I've said this already, but when they've spent money on a concept and they've actually designed the prototype, if it's fine and everything's going to work, that's great. But when it doesn't work, and it's a rarity that just an idea pops out of your head and it's going to, you need to test it, and you need to talk with others, get other expertise in on that, and it reshapes. So even and that often happens to people, is that the idea that you came up with, and when you go in and you talk to other people, it has transformed because people add knowledge.
Do you find that most people, they come up with an idea, they get emotionally attached to it, and they just want to get to market as soon as possible?
Yeah, and I would say slow down, calm down. I remember a college professor said to me that if you think you're going to have one idea in your life, hold on to it. But if you think you're going to have multiple, then talk about everything. That kind of way. So I think have an idea, come in, talk to someone, whether it's us or somebody else. There is people there, between going to the enterprise boards, go to somebody, have a chat, and make sure before you invest your money, think about, because this is a process, and it takes a while. I know people want to jump into the market, but it takes a while to get your product to market and get it fit for purpose. Identify your segments, get the marketing correct, everything. So, it takes planning. That old saying that, failure to plan is planning to fail, and I think that is paramount in terms of innovation.
Pat, I'd like to have a quick chat to you about FP7.
FP7 is a European framework program, and 7 is the 7th iteration of the program. It's ending this year, I think, and then 2014 FP8 it'll be out. There is money in Europe. There's no doubt about that, and there is potential for SMEs and companies to get involved in this. There is companies like that I know in Dublin. They make a fair effort in terms of FP7. They're involved in numerous programs. But it's not even the money aspect of it, right? But they get access to technologies they get access to patents and stuff like this that they would never have got before. It is a thing, so for argument's sake, if you were interested in FP7, people can contact ourselves, and it mightn't even be my own area of expertise, but I would pass them on then to a relevant research group in WIT that would be very willing to partner with them.
And how does it work, Pat?
Just say the program FP7 for SMEs. If there's an industry-focused research that needs to be happened, and it's industry relevant, it has to be something that needs to happen in the industry. The SME could come into an academic institution, partner with them. What they would do is then they design a program of research activities, and some of these could be quite practical. It could be like developing a particular technology or whatever it is, and the SME then in some instances would get that technology. So there's phenomenal benefits to this, if someone is interested in it, and I hear loads of SMEs and they all say, what's this European program? What does it do, etc. You might have a research project that might be very relevant, and an academic institution might want to carry that out. And Karl, just one other fund I would just like to raise that I think would be very beneficial to SMEs, and there's very little awareness of it, and it's called the Marie Curie. And there's a great opportunity for SMEs in Ireland to partner with third level institutions abroad to engage in a project that they want, and it's about the movement of people, but it's very well financed, and there's a very, very high success rate in relation to securing the funds as well. So it's a very, very valuable and under-resourced fund in Europe as well, besides the FP7 as well. Just
in relation to that Marie Curie fund, what does that cover?
It covers people, because people are the most expensive part of any project, so it covers the time, the travel over and abroad, etc. like this. But it really does fund the project.
Pat, many thanks for providing our listeners with an outline of WIT's RIKON Service Innovation Centre, and I wish you continued success.
You're listening to South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Think Wexford Insurances for your business insurance.